What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a pretty exciting day for me. I'm gonna go check out a truck, specifically a single cab OBS. I've been looking for an OBS for a long time, especially after I painted that red one. I caught the bug, man. I need myself an OBS. So I've been looking online and I think I found a good one. So we're gonna take the Dodge, we're gonna go check it out and see if we're gonna purchase the thing. So I'm taking you guys along for the ride. Let's go. So I ended up purchasing the truck. As you saw, I took it off the trailer. Super excited. I was really happy with it when I got there, and you know, I had a couple conversations with the guy and I thought it was a good all-around truck to buy, and it's perfect for this channel, and I will explain why it's perfect for this channel after I take my first test drive. I've actually had the truck for a couple days now. It just needed a couple of things to make it roadworthy. The first thing were the brakes. It literally had no brakes when I got it. My foot went all the way down to the ground. So I went ahead and replaced the front brake calipers and also the soft brake lines that run into the caliper as well. They were a little rusted out, so I went ahead and did that. And I also wanted to update the master cylinder, but turns out that these trucks come with a hydro boost brake system. All right, so that's an upgrade from the vacuum boost brake system. And GM puts hydro boost in a lot of diesels because they tend to be heavier. The motor's a lot bigger than usual. The suspension is a lot heavier as usual, and you're probably going to be towing with the vehicle. So they tend to put hydro boost brakes on these diesel trucks. Okay, and by the way, it's a diesel truck, which I mean caught my attention. Turbo diesel to be exact. So that's kind of the main reasons why I bought it. But anyways, instead of updating the master cylinder, I just went ahead and bought a brand new one same year and put it in, and now we have great braking power. Last but not least, guys, you know I had to get a radio in there. I went super simple, got a single DIN Alpine radio. I don't need anything too extravagant right now. All I need is Bluetooth, and it came with some really nice door speakers and tweeters already installed, and the installation is pretty clean, and I could tell that he had a nice little system in there because he has a wires ran for a sub behind the chair, so behind the bench seat I mean. So obviously I want to upgrade that later. But first I want to take care of the paint and make it super clean before I start putting money into the system. All right, so obviously getting it running and driving is number one, but paint is going to be number two because that's what my brand's all about. Next coat, right? And I just want to make a simple, reliable show truck that I can take to HPT Shootout, October Truck Madness, all the little events that they got going around here at Houston. And yeah, I just want to cruise my truck out there, man. So but anyways, for now guys, let's go ahead and hop in, take our first test drive and go fill it up with diesel, because I have no idea how much gas is in here, because unfortunately the fuel gauge doesn't work. I'm gonna have to fix that in the future, but let's head over to the corner store and fill it up with diesel, guys. Let's get it. That whistle, man, you can really hear the whistle. Oh, shit. Oh. What? Battery. Might have been the battery or something. It was running just fine. Got the glow plugs. Might have just been the battery was loose. I tightened it up, or I just moved a little bit, and it seems to be working fine. So I think we're good to go. Ooh, that whistle, man. I cannot get over that freaking whistle. All right, seems to be running pretty good after I tightened up the battery, but it's still kind of weird that it shut off on me while I was driving. It might be a fuel issue, but other than that, man, it's running really good. So I'm gonna get some diesel in it and head home. It feels so wrong pumping diesel in a single cab, but it's pretty damn cool. One thing that made me feel like he did a good job on the swap is that he changed out the dash to include the glow plug light on there. And if you don't own a diesel, you have to let the glow plugs heat up a little bit before you start it. And there's usually a little light on there telling you when they're heating up and stuff like that. So check it out. When I turn the key, that's telling me that my glow plugs are heating up right now, and I gotta wait for it to turn off. Once it turns off, starts right up. So just pretty cool little thing that I loved about this truck. And let's check out this new radio I got in here. Hell yeah. Alright guys, so we made it back home. The truck is running super clean now. I think it just had low fuel, and when I slammed on the brakes, it sucked in a little bit of air and it shut off. But after I put diesel in it, man, I took it around the block a couple times, rode around for about 30 minutes, and no issues at all. So I think it was just missing a little bit of fuel, or the injectors were a little dirty, but it's riding really good, and the brakes are super good. I mean, I'm just so excited. And the system, I mean, I'm just really happy with the truck. So let's talk a little bit about the truck and why I purchased it for this channel and why I think it's the perfect truck for this channel. So it's a 1992 Chevy single cab. It originally came with a V6 motor. Obviously they swapped it out to the turbo diesel, and they put a 4L80E transmission inside of it so it can handle that extra power. It's got, I would say it's got like a 2-3 drop, or maybe like a 1-3 drop. They might have cut the springs in the front. There's no shocks in the front. They got a ghetto rigged flip kit. It's pretty much the U-bolts turned upside down and they flip the axle under. Super ghetto, but they put some air shocks on there, so I actually filled it up with air and it rides pretty good without having any shocks in it. So I'm definitely gonna have to fix that, but overall it's still a drivable truck. The interior is super clean. The doors aren't sagging, they close right up. Little effort, you just close the door and it latches up really nicely. It's really hard to find that in these older trucks, so I was really happy when I felt that door close so cleanly. And speaking of that, it's really hard when you're trying to buy a truck from somebody else, right? Because you don't know if they're lying to you. You don't know if the truck has a horrible transmission and they don't want to tell you about it. But the reason that I trusted this guy a little bit is because he owns his own company and he didn't have time to change the fluids out, you know, clean the engine bay, clean the truck, clean the interior. He just let me see it as is, which is really important because think about it. When you try to buy a vehicle from a used dealership, they're gonna fill up the transmission, they're going to change the oil, they're going to fill up all the fluids. You're not going to see what's going on, right? For example, this one was a little bit low on transmission fluid, but I took it out and I smelled it and it didn't smell burnt. Right? When you smell burnt transmission fluid, you're probably gonna have some burnt clutches or the transmission is probably shot at that point. He left the transmission fluid low for me and the transmission cutter looked good. So naturally I thought, man, you know what? The transmission is probably good, and it turns out that it's shifting great. He didn't change the oil, so I was able to check if there was any metal shavings inside the oil. He didn't top off the brake fluid, so obviously I got to see that the brakes were bad, the brakes were shot. I was able to negotiate that into the price as well. You know, I felt like he was very honest. It had a really bad freeze plug leak on there, and he showed me exactly where the leak was. He showed me pictures and stuff like that. As far as the fluids go, I sat there and I talked to the guy for like 30 minutes and I got to know him a little bit. I got to figure things out about his family, his company, what he does for a living, why he's selling the truck, and then I looked at the interior as well. The interior is really clean for this year. I mean, it has these light gray seats. Those are so easy to get dirty. I've already dirtied them just by changing the brakes and the oil change and stuff, and he kept it super clean. So, you know, I kind of put all of those things together, used my best judgment. I ended up trusting the guy, right? I may be wrong. This truck might be blown up in a couple days, but, you know, I kind of put those things together, and I think y'all should also put those things together when you're trying to purchase a truck. Now, the reason I think this truck is perfect for this channel is because this truck has a little bit of everything, man. It's got a little bit of rust. It's got a couple of dents here and there. I have to do some fiberglass work on the bed as well. So it's got a little bit of everything, and I think it's perfect for me to paint for you guys in my backyard to show you how to paint a truck, because you're most likely gonna run into one of these problems that this truck has, okay? And not only that, I wanna color match the bumpers, the grille, the handles, I'm gonna change out those mirrors to like the SS mirrors as well. So you're gonna see all that's gonna take place on this truck. So I thought it was just perfect for you guys to see me paint. As far as color goes, man, I have no idea what I'm gonna paint this. Honestly, I probably need some help from you guys. Right now, I'm thinking about doing like a 2023 Cadillac Candy Red, super clean color. Or I was thinking keeping it the original color, that kind of teal green that came in this year, and just getting rid of that silver two-tone that it had. But honestly, man, I don't know. If y'all know a clean color, you know, put it down in the comments below and I will check it out, because those are kind of the two colors that I'm stuck on right now. Well guys, there's still one thing we gotta do, and that's show my family the new truck. It's actually my brother's birthday today, so we're gonna go have a little bit of barbecue. I'm gonna go to the store and buy some beer, and yeah, I'm gonna take you guys with me, so let's get it.
Happy birthday. No, 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 I'll show